Now that we have it centered, we can start to open our pot. So I'm going to take my two thumbs, I'm going to place them in the middle of the clay. I'm going to start pushing down. And for your bowls, I'm asking that you keep ½ inch from the bottom. The reason for this is that later we're going to go back and trim it. If you don't know what a ½ inch looks like, by feeling, you can stop your wheel, take your needle tool, push it down, and then measure it to see if it's ½ inch. Mine's a little thick, I'll push down a little bit more. Alright, I'm at that ½ inch thickness at the bottom, but my bowl right now is very small, it's only this big. I need to take this hole and stretch it larger. So I'm going to take my left hand now and push it on the inside. My right hand is going to stay on the outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers and pull into my palm. I'm going to stretch that open into my palm. And you're going to do a nice, even, slow stretch. Okay, now you can see that our hole is larger. I've stretched it open. And now it's time to make sure it's still centered. A lot of times when you open it up, it'll get off center. How you do this is by making a C with your left hand. You're going to flip it over and hold this clay down. And I'm actually going to be pinching the clay a little bit. When I do that, the clay is going to want to go up. So I'm going to take my right hand and push it down. And this forces it through a little form through our hands to keep it centered. Now that we have it opened and it's recentered, we can start to pull up our walls. How you do that is that you're going to be using your fingertips to do it. You're going to pinch in the clay and you're going to slowly bring your hands up. So you're thinning the walls out, and that forces the clay to go up. Because it's really hard to keep your hands right next to each other, I lock my thumbs or I touch my two hands in some way to make sure that my two hands stay by the clay. So I'm going to pinch in with my fingers, and I'm slowly pinching in and I'm coming up. This is how you get your height and how you make your bowls larger. So I just did two pulls, and my bowl is getting to be a little bit larger. I still have some clay at the bottom, so I'm going to do one more pull. Pinch in, and start bringing it up. Alright, so now my bowl is of a good size for this 1.5 pounds of clay, but you'll see several lines and it's all bumpy going in. To fix that, you have two choices. You can either use your sponge and smooth out those bumps with your sponge, or you can try using the rib. And the rib is nice because it's naturally curved like a bowl. So I'm going to push my rib down, and I will put my right hand on the outside, and I'll push the rib into the pot, and my right hand is supporting it. And you can see a lot of those lines, those bumps, have gone away. I'll fix the bottom of the bowl to make sure my spoon doesn't bang on anything as I'm scooping it out. You're also going to want to make sure that the rim is nice and even. A good way to do this is to take your sponge, put it on the rim, and push a little downward pressure. You'll see my left hand's also supporting it, so that it doesn't get too far away from me. I have a little bit of excess water still left inside my bowl, so I'm going to take my sponge and get that out. If you leave it in there, it's going to start to eat away at the clay, and eventually it's going to break your bowl down. So any excess water you want to get out of there. Next, I'm going to take my wooden knife, and this is going to be the pointed down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to undercut it. I'm going to take the knife and slide it underneath the bowl to scrape away that extra clay. So this might be a better view for you to actually see how to use the wood knife to undercut. I'll start the wheel, and I slowly cut underneath and get all that extra clay off. Finally, I'm going to take my wire tool, wrap it around my fingers like dental floss, and my thumbs are going to stay on top. I'm going to push it onto the pottery wheel head. I'm going to pull it towards me. I do it once with nothing, and then I get a little bit of water and I put it behind it. And the second time I try to pull that water through. You see that the pot moves a little bit. Now you know that you're ready to take it off the wheel.